Hello, everyone, and welcome. Malnutrition in young learners is a hidden challenge that affects children's health, learning, ability, and overall development, especially in under-resourced communities. It impacts focus, academic performance, and long-term well-being, making it an issue that needs urgent attention and collective action. Today, we'll explore the causes, effects, and solutions around this important topic with Reshika Jithan, who joins to share her insights and experience. How are you, Reshika?
I'm good, thank you, Sid, and thank you for having me on the pod. But before we continue, I would like to wish everybody a happy, joyous, and a prosperous year ahead, and may it be a safe and a successful one for everybody, including you.
Yeah, likewise. Same for you, and Happy New Year's to the viewers. In fact, this is actually my first time ever having a New Year's pod, so I'm so happy to be sharing it with you. And before we get started, Rishika, why don't you tell the viewers something about yourself?
Well, basically, I do come from administrative background and accountant. Basically, qualified accountant. Was in practice for a good few years and decided to quit, become an entrepreneur. Went into textiles, and from textiles owned a few coffee shops and franchises. And whilst on that path of being an entrepreneur, had my gigs on radio. Well, did my little stunts on radio, and that's why when I was in Durban, and then when I landed in Cape Town and made Cape Town my home, it's I landed on television. So for 3 years, I dominated SABC3. So that's where I was,
Wow.
and yeah, still being an entrepreneur, and yeah, and it's going good.
Wow, that's really amazing, and I'm looking forward to getting this conversation started with you. So, Rishika, to start us off, what was sparked your interest in addressing malnutrition in young learners?
Well, you see, Siddharth, basically,
Hmm.
a hungry child is a sick child, an aggressive child too. Ailments creep in. So you would see them sometimes, when you drive by, you walk on the road or you drive by, you see kids walking to school. They're fragile, they're sick. And what sparks my interest in that? So, what could be that they in that condition? What leads to that? It starts off what you put into you. It is
Yeah.
nutrition. They lack it. So that's what sparks my interest in talking about malnutrition. Because remember, a child is the future of our country. So we got to get it right from them first. And they will lead and direct us. So a hungry child cannot lead, cannot concentrate, cannot focus. So that's what sparked my
Yeah.
interest. And therefore, um, I really wanted to talk about malnutrition. It does affect. It's not only about children that suffer from malnutrition, it's even adults, old people as
Yeah.
well. Old too have malnutrition, and it goes on. The list goes on. It burns out to
Yeah.
the economic factor of one state, country, and lifestyle too.
Yeah. It's such a underappreciated kind of topic because everyone talks about GBV, but malnutrition never really gets brought up much. So I appreciate you for actually bringing up this topic.
You see, it is a topic that has been suppressed, but it's
Mhm.
right there, very in our faces. Every day we face it. We see them. We see it happening. Sometimes we see people digging burns because it's poverty, right? But what do you get from those burns? Oh, what do you get? Leftover
Mm.
rotten food. Are they nutritious? No, they're not nutritious. So it's sad. It's sad state that we are in right now. Something has to be done. It has to be addressed. You see that?
Yeah, that's true. What are some early warning signs teachers or parents should look for when it comes to child malnutrition?
When you look at a child, We're talking about a scholar and a learner. But when you look at a learner, you see they're very fragile, loss of
Mm,
appetite, and loss of interest, and no interest in foods as well. Some of them because they have not eaten for
mm,
days. You'll see that their eyes start to pop out, and then the features start to show bones. There's no liquid in them as well. It's not only about food, it's about liquids also, water, hydration, and uncharacteristic tiredness. They're fatigued, they worn out, they're low energy levels. The energy levels just drop, and you'll see them really lethargic. They drag their feet, and they're tired all the time. They have body pains, you know, that's what it is. And body ailments, dizziness, and poor concentration, underweight. And then you'll find that they're not growing properly. If you tend to take an average 8-year-old kid with an 8-year-old kid who has suffered malnutrition, lack of malnutrition, you'll see they're not the same. You'll see that that kid is underweight, under height, and their structure is different. Even some of the hair loss, you'll see that the hair is starting to deplete or descend, and the gums start to be funny. The gums become wider, the eyes start to pop out. So all of these features are very prevalent in lack of malnutrition. And you'll see it in a kid. You'll see it in learners as
yeah,
well.
yeah. It's very sad to see that in the kids. How does poor malnutrition really impact a child's learning and focus in the classroom?
Less concentration, cannot focus at all, poor results as and no ability to perform tasks. Say, for instance, we have a science project, and
Hmm.
the teacher has a task to perform. Okay, they say so and so, Siddharth, today you have to do a science project, and you got to show how a light bulb would work, and I will give you 2 days.
Mm,
They have concentration level is zero at the moment, and it's just tiredness, and they can't perform.
mhm.
So the kid is constantly tired, no energy, less concentration, cannot focus. Even they will look directly at you. They'll be looking at you, but they cannot see you. Looking and seeing is different. They will look you straight in the face, but cannot see you because there is no concentration at all. So it's a lack of concentration. It's a sad thing, and it hurts. It really hurts. And if teachers are sharp enough, they will recognize it in a learner. And obviously, a learner who had lacks malnutrition is aggressive because a hungry child is an aggressive child.
Mm.
You see,
When you say aggressive, he'll be more aggressive physically than verbally, I would assume.
both, both physically and verbally too. They probably would tell you anything that comes to mind. Um,
Hmm.
something that you wouldn't like, something to shoo you away because they don't want you to be closer to them to recognize the condition that they're going through this. And then aggressive is because they are in pain. Because remember, lack of malnutrition, no nutrition in the body is in constant pain.
Mm.
Low energy levels, they're forcing themselves to do things, dragging their feet around. It's very hard. It's very hard. So this is where they are in constant pain,
Yeah,
and they are prone to viruses and ailments because the immune system is very low, you see,
yeah.
and they really
All right.
tired
Sorry?
and they are weak.
Yeah, that's true, eh? In your experience, what are the most common causes of malnutrition in school-aged kids today?
Inadequate food intake, I would say they're not well fed at home. Perhaps it's due to poverty. Maybe
Yeah.
there's one, it's a single parent, that's they live in a single parent home, or they have both the parents and maybe the either one of the parents are on drugs and alcohol and
Mm.
and, and stuff like that. And parents can't afford, they only can cater for necessities, or sometimes in abusive homes where a child is supposed to perform a duty at home, be it whatever duty. Sometimes it's even, I wouldn't say it, but some parents or caregivers or guardians use these kids for sexual favors, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The reason they- And if those kids cannot perform that, then sorry, you can't get a plate of food. You're not getting the plate of, you want this plate of food, you work for it. This is what you have
Mm.
to do. Or if it's a parent involved, they have a favorite child. No, Tom is my favorite kid. He gets two extra potatoes, and you don't get any because you didn't ask today. So no. So these are all things that take into consideration. So what's going to happen is that you're going to start hating Tom because Tom now gets an extra piece of potato. It's like aggressiveness kicks in, and a hungry child going to bed cries. The
Yeah.
system is
Yeah. It really makes one appreciate
it
your
also
current situation. Sorry?
it also it also comes down to like society as well. How one
Mm-hmm.
adapts, one adopts this, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If people around children notice this, perhaps they can do something about it. But if you play a blind ear, a blind eye and a deaf ear,
Mm.
then it's partially your fault as well. Sometimes people say mind your own business. Yes, we do mind our
Mm.
own business. But when it comes to certain things where a kid is really battling and really suffering, um, we have to we have to put our resources together, put our mind together, find help. The kid, find help to focus because the kid is going to school. The kid needs all the tools, like how you would go to school, you'll need stationery. For geometry, you'll need a math set, you'll need the compass, you'll need this, or you'll need a pencil, you'll need that the ruler, the D-shaped ruler to do all of that. But like that, when a child is going to school, you make sure that he has his nutrition. His nutrients must be provided. It doesn't have to be very extravagant. It's basic. Sometimes a fruit can help. Some water, hydration, juice can help. And a salmi, two slices of salmi sandwiches. Those simple peanut butter. Peanut butter is the nutrients in it. It helps. Okay, focus within that. Taking it to school with the fruit and water and juice. It goes on. The list can go on, but it's sometimes like I will give you an example. One time I had a neighbor. It was long before, like 2 years ago. I had a neighbor who had a kid going to school, and I noticed the kid going to school every day. I didn't know what the kid had for lunch, but my duty was dish out a banana to
Mm-hmm.
all the kids that were going to school and an apple, whatever I had. And if I see them going cheap, I buy them in bulk. Well, I could afford it. It was affordable for
Mm.
me. And I just dish it out to them. Yeah, there's an apple, there's a banana, take it to school and have it there. And it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of leads me on to my next question. What role should schools play in making sure kids are getting the no, getting the nutrition they need?
You see, firstly, you've got to educate a learner on the foods. What foods are necessary for them? A chocolate is a luxury. Chips, crisps are luxuries. A banana is good for your health. An apple,
Mm.
apple a day, it's true, it's good. Water hydrates you. It's necessary. You got to have that. So you got to educate a teacher. An educator has to educate the kid on on what type of food he should be having and to focus and concentrate and what food is of benefit to them and what foods are luxury. They should categorize the foods. What foods are luxury, what foods are benefit, what foods have nutrients that would supplement the body, supplements for them to concentrate, focus. So I think educators should educate the learners and outline and stress what foods are important to them.
Yeah, that's true, hey. Do you think enough is being done at the policy level to address this problem? Why or why not?
I don't think so. If you ask me,
Mhm.
it's not really. We have many issues at many levels, from government levels to different policies, and as I said, adopting a policy, how one adopts a policy. But our crisis, our main crisis here, the future of our country are the children. If you don't work on them, we have no future in our country.
Yeah,
If our government only adopted this policy of providing one meal to each school, a simple meal, a sandwich, you know, a set of sandwich to each learner, it would make a difference in each learner's life because many are coming from homes where they live on one meal a day, a basic one meal a day. Sometimes it's pap and spinach, sometimes it's just pap. That's all, and water, and that's not nutritious at all. So our government should play a role. They should run a scheme, whereas they should, all these big supermarkets, they should gather them together and ask them to donate some fresh veggies and meat stuff to run a soup kitchen in schools. A bowl of soup also is nutritious and nourishing, especially in winter. In summer, a sandwich, a cool cucumber sandwich too can help. Lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumber, and a slice of cheese works well, or peanut butter. In summer, in winter, a veg soup or a chicken broth soup perhaps works well for a kid to concentrate on in school. So I think these policies should be adopted either on government level or in schools itself, where educators, a department themselves should take the initiative by running these schemes in schools.
yeah, that's true, hey. But I think it comes down to a more and more of a mind over matter kind of thing. Because if they want to do it, they can do it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It all boils down to policies. As we say, depends on how they adopt the policies. What and priorities? What do they prioritize? Running a scheme where they a raffle where they want to make some money for the school to and donations, or run a soup kitchen.
True. For parents or teachers tuning in, what simple steps can they take today to support better nutrition?
As I said, we can start with a soup kitchen at schools, and we can
Mhm.
have like teachers who will volunteer in the soup kitchen to quickly wrap up some sandwiches to pass on to the kids and collect, and that's it. Or they can have extra staff prepare these sandwiches during the lunch break and dish it out to the kids because educators are busy in classrooms sometimes, and so it won't be possible. But at least like two people who would work at 10 o'clock in the morning, knowing 12 o'clock is lunch break. In 2 hours, you can whip up a good few sandwiches to dish out. You know that the school has 500 students, and maybe not all 500 would want to come for a sandwich. Maybe 300 would come out for a sandwich and quickly whip up 300 sandwiches. Or they can go into each classroom and ask the teachers for a roll call who did not bring lunch to school. Back in the days, I remember mom and dad used to tell us that when they were in school, they used to do this roll count in school, where they used to have going around. Sorry, I used to get on in my. A bucket is a container. All right. Um, they have a container going around in each classroom where the privileged children used to place an extra sandwich. They used to ask mom to pack an extra sandwich for them so they can place in the bucket and pass it on to students who do not have. That worked very well. Maybe that can happen again. They could start that initiative again, or perhaps run the soup kitchen and ask the big giant supermarkets to play a role and instead of discarding vegetables, pass it on to the soup kitchen and fruits and vegetables, and it would help. Or go to farmers in rural areas and ask them if they can pledge a donation to certain schools and supplement these food kitchens. I think that would be a good idea. That's what educators can do. Yeah.
All right. Finally, Rashika, lastly, what gives you hope when it comes to the future of young learners and nutrition?
Well, a well-fed kid has 100% concentration, focus, and also to some point, a well-fed kid who is well uh, supplemented, I would say, has better focus, much respect as well, and manners too. And they will appreciate everything. But a kid who is hungry only worries about where the next meal is going to come from. But the future of our kids is if we take care of them, they will take care of us in the future. Remember, the kids are our future. So we got to focus on them, their well-being, their school, their nutrition, their extracurricular activities, very important. Their school stationery, their appearance as well, their behavior, and we're going to keep them off the streets too. So yeah, that's my point on
All
the
right.
future of
All I gotta say is sorry.
that's my point on the future of our country are the children. Keep them happy, supplement
And
them.
I can't argue with that. I hope the teachers and the other important member that have listened to this take your views on board. And yeah, thanks so much for your time and look forward to the next chat in the future.
Thank you, sir, for giving us this opportunity to be on your platform, and I wish you all the best in many parts to come by. And thank you so much. And to all the listeners there, have a safe and a happy one and a happy year ahead. Thank you very much.
Thanks.